sitting comfortably, and I'd suggest closing your eyes, and I'm going to talk you through a little bit of it and then leave a bit of silence for you to practice. So we're just going to start with a really simple listening practice. And listening is something, I really like this practice. I feel it's really accessible. Would love to hear your thoughts on that, but you can do this anywhere, and you can drop into this for just a few seconds, or you can stay here all day. And you'll notice something really important happens right at the beginning of this practice, which is what happens when you start listening. You bring your attention to your ears, but as part of that, everything else you're doing stops. To some degree, your thoughts have to stop. To some degree, your emotional reactivity has to settle a bit. The act of concentrating, it accomplishes everything we need to accomplish in even just a moment, and it's worth just noticing that happening. And so already you're decoupled from those thoughts and those reactions, and you're down into your body. You're down into where those green shoots are coming up. Springtime is coming up in your body. And all that innate goodness now will start to emanate forth. It comes up subtly, it often comes up slowly, it grows over time. It can feel for a while that there's not much there, which is why we practice every day. We have to grow these shoots with our attention. So listening. Starting with what's obvious in your near environment. Always keeping an ear out for what's subtle. And you'll notice, even with these noises, our mind, our thinking mind, wants to tell a story. It wants to understand it. Oh, that's this, and that's this. Oh, and why is that happening? Let it talk, but don't engage. And you'll notice even here with sounds, your emotional mind often wants to spark up and tell you what it likes and doesn't like. Maybe something irritates you. Or maybe you love the sound of that particular bird. Interesting data, sometimes useful, often not. In any case, not our concern right now. We want the raw data of what you're hearing without the spin, without the story. Finding what's subtle in your environment. Bird sounds, insect sounds maybe, wind in the trees sounds, distant voices, whatever you're hearing. And see if you can feel this sense of, after a little bit of concentration on listening or anything, there's a sense of being at the center point, the eye of the storm, as it were. We focus on changing the quality of your mind, of your state of mind. We find it, we tap into it, we start to grow it so it becomes stronger, more sustainable, eventually a default. And then you take this out to your life. And then as you're listening to these sounds, and particularly on these subtle sounds, noticing that in the exact same posture of paying attention and accepting things as they are, a next door neighbor to all these sounds is your breathing. Sounds are external and they touch your body as you hear them. Breath starts external, you bring it into your body and you take it back out. So for just a moment in parallel, notice the noises around you and the breath coming in and out of you. And then start to shift your primary attention to this active breathing. We warmed it up a few minutes ago, so our focus is primed to go here. And you're just breathing subtly. This is like the subtle sounds into the subtle breathing. You're noticing it coming in, going out. You're noticing the feel of it in your body, in your nostrils. You're noticing the subtle differences from breath to breath, in duration, in pace, depth. Maybe there's even a little background of gratitude for each one of these. Hey, I got another one. At some point they end. You got a finite amount of these. Might as well enjoy them. And notice it just like sounds. Same posture on our part. You don't make the sounds, you don't make the breath. You don't have to do anything but pay attention. You don't have to even make your attention, you just have to put it here. This act of deliberately paying attention to this level of the roots of your mind, deeper than your emotions, deeper than your thoughts, is growing all that innate goodness. The very things we need to live well. This is how we grow them. If and when you get distracted, when you come back, take a slightly deeper breath, a bit like the flapping, but probably without the arms, although you can flap if you want. If you're having a very distracted day at any point, you can just breathe a bit deliberately the whole time. And I'll be a bit more quiet for a few minutes, give you a chance to get some depth here, get some focus, to feel the resulting stillness. You can work with a very light touch. Attention is very sensitive. And when you get distracted and recover, no drama. Just smile at yourself. Start again. Everything you need to do is put aside for the moment. Your responsibility is to be with awareness. And we shift now to our final focus. Just like we started with sounds, and next door to them was breath. Next door to this breath is your body. So as you're breathing, give some focus to the feeling of breathing. Taking a comfortable, deeper breath or two and just really feeling that in your body. We started with this, but we're a few minutes into concentration here, so you're going to have all kinds of more data, more resolution on what's happening. And then get a sense, overall feeling of your body, the posture you're in, the muscles and effort it takes to be sitting, to hold yourself up. Feeling the weight of your body on your chair. Feeling the touch of the atmosphere on your skin, temperature, humidity, breezes, etc. Sounds are outside, breath comes in and out, and now we go internal. Your body. And we start in a place and we're going to get subtler and subtler. So just feeling the overall body, noticing the breathing. We're focusing on sensations here. Physical sensations. And we'll look a little bit closer at different parts, just to build a little more resolution, a little more subtlety again. See if you can focus on your legs and feet. Just what they feel like. And again, you don't make any of this. Your only responsibility is to observe and to accept. Legs and feet. And you might start off feeling the posture, the shape of them and all that, but some of you might start to feel this subtler sense of buzz or tingle or this energy feeling throughout the body. If you feel that, and focus there. Now let's look at arms and hands. And let's look at the torso from the pelvis on up to the shoulders. Now, a lot goes on in here. We'll spend just a moment here. First off, notice your breathing. And then there are postural muscles here to be sitting up. And then often somewhere in this area is where we carry our stress. Many of us carry our tension, carry the reaction. It might be something in the gut, might be a tightness in the chest, in the shoulders, in the back. And along with everything else, we'll just take a few moments, and particularly if you've been feeling any kind of stress over the last little while, I want you to see if you can find that. And if you can feel anything there, any kind of tightness or pain even, just merely observe it. Keep breathing, and with your breath itself, with the free and open breath you're taking, this is your physical act of acceptance. Not a cognitive acceptance, not an emotional acceptance. We have to change here at the physical level. And we do that with this open breath that adds an element of ease into your body. And you have to do it over and over again because the tension is so deeply grooved, it'll keep coming back. We'll add to this torso observation the neck and the head and the face as well. Many people carry tension up there, especially in the neck. So if there is this kind of problem in there, you're giving it awareness, and through your acceptance, through your breathing, you're giving it space. All these things are contracted energy stuck in your body. We use the breath gently to give it space. We use the attention to notice its change, and over time, it will decrease. It may at first increase, because now you give it some room. It needs both. It needs your attention, it needs your acceptance, and it'll be on its way. So we'll just spend a minute or two here. I'll be a bit quiet. If you're not focusing on those little hot spots, you're focusing on anything you feel in your torso, neck, and head. And if you can feel that overall tingle, buzz, vibration in your body, noticing that. Somewhere in the deep background, you bring it to the foreground if you want. Each one of these breaths, there's some kind of inherent thank you for this breath. And the number one way you express your gratitude, we don't do it in words, we don't even do it With the emotions as such, that can happen too. The number one way we express it is by attending, paying attention to what you're grateful for. Observing your breath is itself an expression of gratitude. And now noticing your body, we put the whole stack back together, noticing the fact that your body is breathing, noticing the fact that you're surrounded by sounds. So we pull back the attention a bit, we get this larger situational awareness, still aware of all three, still sidelining the emotions and thoughts a little bit. We're showing them who's boss right now. They need to know. They think they're the boss. So you can dip into this anytime you want, whether it's all three of these, whether it's one aspect of these, whether it's just taking one breath or listening for a few moments. This is always with you. I suggest you dip into here numerous times a day, every single day, and every so often for longer. So our final step of coming back, keep on practicing all three of those things, but just really softly let your eyes open. You're looking down in front of you, but you're still feeling that body. You're still noticing yourself breathing, the sounds around you. This is an internal thing. You can come into here anytime you want as you're doing other things, making dinner, listening to someone else talk. Keep diving back in here and you keep growing those green shoots of goodness. Let's do one breath together with the arms to finish it off. Inhale, fill it up, arms up. Hold your breath. Hold your breath. Sigh it out.